Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with iTrack. Man, big shout out to everybody that's tapping in, man, especially the iTrack fam. I appreciate each and every one of you guys if you did not know. And if this is your first time here, what we like to do is take a look at the most interesting and creepy TikToks and kind of evaluate for ourselves whether these are fact or fake. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me, smash that subscribe button, and join the iTrack fam, and let's just jump right into it.
Alright, somebody makes a good point. What is this thing up here to the top right? Is that the mini moon? I mean, it definitely looks too big to be a star. So I don't know, I think that might be that Nibiru, Planet X, or alien ship that everybody's talking about. What do y'all think?
It gets worse. So after Jenny McCarthy did this to Justin Bieber, she said this.
Enjoying the night so far?
Great. I just got to nap Justin Bieber and grab his butt.
I thought that you totally, it was like a full-on almost makeout session.
A little cougar scary.
Yeah.
But I took the opportunity in the window, considering I'll never get to do it again, and kind of molested him.
Well, we hear that he may be back on the market now and available.
Can you imagine how hilarious that would be? That would be the cougar score of the century. Jenny McCarthy dates Justin Bieber.
Would you?
I want some Bieber fever, and I want a Bieber rash. I want it all. It'd be a cougar rape.
But do you think that he's been handling the pressure well? How did you see him out there?
Yeah, I feel like he is. I don't know what to. I can't even imagine starting in the industry as young as he has.
I mean, I don't know why you're mad that people are pointing this video out and it's going viral again. You said it, we didn't. You did it, we didn't.
Is the Illuminati real?
No, I don't know.
She is being truthful.
This is the highest satanic priestess in all of Hollywood. Michelle Lamy is not just a designer.
You're going to name names in these lawsuits. As of now, do you have celebrity names?
I do. I think people already are suspecting some of the names that you might see. I think some of them will be shocking, though. People that attended the parties that watched some of this behavior occur and stood by and let it happen.
This is Diddy's new judge. He takes his job very seriously. You can look at the look on his face. Look at the way that man's holding his hand up. He don't play no games, and he not finna let Diddy get away with nothing.
So when I look into history and I see that these people were doing these rituals and trying to summon demons, and you look throughout history at how many times elites got caught having sexual rituals, and I'm talking about recent history, like the last 150 years, I went, okay, if they believed in this, and these people that had the access to the most wealth and the most money, that they believed in spiritualism in a demonic way, then people better wake up right now and realize that spiritual forces are still at play. And if you're not even speaking about that and you don't think God is real, then you're essentially the person that's bringing a knife to a figurative gunfight. I think that this has been going on for a long time in America and that we have been being impacted by spiritual forces.
This is a pure fact. It's just that there's never been social media and cameras all over the place like there is in today's time. So now we're getting to watch it live. Back then they did it, but it was all mostly in secrecy, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're watching the downfall live.
Plenty of teen singing sensations on YouTube, but this pair are so popular they caught the eye of the Queen Bee herself. Sisters Chloe and Holly Bailey are getting information. Beyonce 2.0 is ready to soar.
Tension when they sang her hit single, Pretty Hurts. It has now been viewed more than 11.5 million times. How did Beyonce hear about you two?
YouTube. Yes, YouTube. We did the cover to Pretty Hurts. That one, out of all the covers we posted, it got the most traction. And then 2 weeks later, we got the email from Parkwood, and after we received that, 2 days later, we heard she wanted to sign us, and we were screaming. Yeah, we were like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. Because that's Queen Bee.
In fact, the Queen Bee signed them to a reported $1 million deal for 6 albums with their management company, Parkwood Entertainment.
We're just so happy because we're given the freedom to do what we want to make.
She's so amazing. She's just a great role model in every aspect of life.
$1 million for 6 albums, huh? All right.
Ray J running there with his shirt off and shit. You got Floyd Mayweather in there popping his booty and shit on the top of the piano. I'm like, God damn, this is a freak off. This ain't no, all these been just freaking and freaking and geeking and geeking and thinking about thinking and freaking and geeking and freaking and thinking now. God damn. I know. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Kamala Harris is Mary J. Blige and you want her to be the president? You want Mary J. Blige to be the mother president? Okay. You might as well just tell me Joseph Jackson is the president right now.
A new exclusive report in Us Weekly reveals actor Denzel Washington had a heated confrontation with rapper Sean Diddy Combs at an all-night party back in 2003. Washington reportedly abruptly left with his wife telling Diddy, quote, "You don't respect anyone." This incident has resurfaced amidst Combs' current legal troubles. He faces charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs has pleaded not guilty.
You know what? I can actually see Denzel doing that. And that's a good look on Denzel so people know, like, he doesn't play that. Don't invite me to any freak-offs.
Seen and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be. I was 13 years old. And being 13, having that type of exposure, Howard Homecoming with Puff, WSA, or the Supper Club, with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. These are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for. That's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, "Man, you gotta chill, like you're just a little bit too intense. You gotta relax." Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? I wanted people to be excited about me the way that they were excited about him. I wanted my own success. As a result of being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. I don't sleep to this day.
Out of nowhere, the woman's head slams down onto the table. It looks like it's forced down by some kind of unseen presence. The woman is clearly startled as she runs to be comforted.
So pork is a 98.4% genetic match to humans. That's why when you go in to get a heart valve replaced, you get a pig valve, because pigs are so close to us genetically. Pig tends to make us really inflamed. So we get real puffy when we eat pig. It happened to me last night. I ate bacon. I ate 3 pieces of bacon yesterday morning with my hard-boiled eggs, and my ankles were swollen by the end of the night. And it happens every time. I get really puffy in my wrists, in my ankles. I retain water just off of pork.
I've only heard bad things about pigs. But the few good things that I have heard are pretty amazing, like how smart they are. They're incredibly intelligent. Not too many people like to eat that swine. So many videos of UFOs and people claiming that they see the UFOs. And you can't discredit the people that say they see angels too. And the videos of angels that start popping up. So that's a tough one. That's definitely a tough one. Let me know what you think though.
Is Beyonce hiding here? I have yet to see anyone talk about this yet, but I have seen people mention how a lot of videos on YouTube are getting deleted. J. Cole's She Knows, Kanye's Famous, amongst others. Couldn't help myself but look up Beyonce. She released Lemonade in 2016, and it's just so peculiar that she updated the playlist 6 days ago. I have truly not been a fan of Beyonce since her album Beyonce. However, if someone understands the lore of Beyonce and Lemonade in this album, can we figure out what is missing? And maybe deep dive and see why it's missing? Because I have a sneaking suspicion it has to do with the Diddy case and likely her involvement or complacency. Anyway, let's figure it out.
That's what he did. I had to keep this secret. Showed up, naked wearing a condom, and tackled me to his bed.
Look, there's a song by Houdini. I'm a hoe, you know I'm a hoe. 3 different girls after every show. Culturally, we thought that was the right way. If you slept with as many people as I slept with, thousands, and we're talking about 6 people. I took 9 lie detector tests. People don't know that. 9 separate. 7 from the chairman of the Polygraph Association. 1 for each of the serious accusations. 1 for when someone said, for instance, I was violent. One person said that. I've never been violent. Took that. And 1 for I apologized. I never apologized about assaulting anyone. And we have to believe women. We have to give them the benefit of the doubt, but we can't demonize people without proof either. I think that the culture and the climate was different, and the way people interacted was different. And I think to judge 40 years ago as if it was today, we get in trouble. We have to accept where we were and move on and be somewhere else in the future if we don't like where we were.
She said he showed up with the condom on. Now that's a first, but you can tell Russell is crossing his T's and dotting his I's. He said he had 9 polygraph tests. That's a man that is not trying to end up like Diddy.
So there's over 10,000 chemicals allowed here in the United States, and there's only 400 approved for use in Europe. What we have here is the wild, wild west. They can hire their own scientists to produce the safety data. They submit that to the FDA. Sometimes the FDA looks at it, sometimes they don't. But they generally just rubber stamp it and move on. Some chemicals that I can talk about that are banned in other countries that are still used here. For example, titanium dioxide was banned in Europe because it's shown that it can cause DNA damage. This is in Skittles. This is a whitening agent. This is something that you can find in like donuts, Little Debbie's, things like that. Then there's TBHQ. This is a type of preservative that literally affects your immune system to make you more reactive to your environment. So if you already have allergies, it's going to make you more allergenic. This is something that's in Reese's peanut butter cups here in the United States, but not in Japan. We've got, of course, artificial food dyes. Back in about 20 years ago, I think, they started a warning label in Europe that says may cause adverse effects on activity and attention in children. Because the food manufacturers didn't want to remove their products from shelves to avoid this warning label, the food manufacturers decided to reformulate their products and take out artificial dyes over there. And
the way she explains it, she makes the U.S. seem like a petri dish full of toxins.
We know, and I knew this when I was 18 because I had a contact experience, that these civilizations have both innate remote viewing capabilities, but they have technologies that interface with that quantum field at the level of a quanta of thought. So not just random thought, but like directional, like if you're looking at the device and you think to it, it transmits to another node, another point. So now we've known this for decades in the CIA and other agencies, because when they started studying the devices, not just the propulsion systems and the energy, but how are these guys communicating? They found these devices. And to me, this is some of the most interesting research that no one ever talks about. But if you look at Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, which is our documentary about contacting and using this technique, the foundation of it is this. It's the science of consciousness and the science of the quanta of thought interfacing not only with each other, but dropping out of linear space-time. And so we call this trans-dimensional physics, physics across dimensions. And one of the dimensions is the so-called thought realm.
Over the course of the next few years, there will be certain things that will occur that will let you know that contact is about to happen, not only in terms of an increase in sightings, but also in the way in which this may occur. There are several paths that may be taken by extraterrestrial beings, such as ourselves and others, to begin to initiate you into becoming familiar with our presence in a physical way. One of those ways may be something like this. Ships may appear over your oceans just offshore, so that you know the ship will stay there over the water. You may watch it from shore. It will not move. You will not feel in any way, shape, or form threatened because it is not coming over your heads, over land where you are, but remaining at arm's length out over the water, so that it gives you time to absorb the fact that they are there off the coastlines of different countries around your world. They may be there for quite some time to allow you the opportunity to gather, to travel to those places, to see the ships. We understand that sometimes they may be surrounded by some of your aerial vehicles, such as helicopters and so on and so forth. But that will all just be part of the show. They will remain there to give you time to get used to the idea that we are here, to get used to the idea that this is the beginning of a great change upon your planet, of a great change in your society, to give you time to discuss among yourselves how you will respond to this change. Take your time. It's fine. There's no hurry. There's no rush. We're not going anywhere.
I'm definitely interested in seeing, extraterrestrials, aliens, if you will. I'm not opposed to it, especially if it happens exactly the way he explains it, the soft rollout. I don't want you showing up in front of my house, inviting yourself in. If you're hovering above the ocean and I can just look at you and kind of gather, okay, you guys are here, that's one thing. But let me know, is it something that you're up to? Do you think it's real, or do you just think he's capping?
It's all around us in society. When you go to a court, you have 12 jurors and 1 judge. 1 plus 12 is 13. Astrology, 12 signs, 1 sun. 12 plus 1, again, 13. The Federal Reserve banking system, 12 regional banks. And then the main bank in Washington, D.C., 12 plus 1 again. So they put this all in society. A team called the 49ers, 4 and 9 is 13. 76ers. Yeah, and someone's going to say, oh, 1776. Well, how come it's not the 1770s? They said 76ers for a reason. They do this all around. McDonald's, Big M. Marathon, Big M. M is the 13th letter. It's there every single time.
Selling your soul is like, it's like if somebody tells you to do something that doesn't align with your morals and principles. You get what I'm saying? I could have did 1 or 2 things and been, boy, I'd have been about the 500 million mark by now. Facts. It was 400,000 a day for me for the rest of that year, 2020. Like 400,000. We ain't talking about after parties. We ain't talking about any other business relationships that got fucked up through it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't talking about none of the other shit. But I'm just talking about what was already on the calendar. You get what I'm saying? It was sweet. I was up out of here. I was gonna have that Tyler Perry motherfucker, that runway in the backyard.
Right.
Facts.
I know so many people that would have folded under that kind of pressure. We're talking about $400,000 a day for a year. Oh yeah, some people is gonna crumble and, take it to that next level.
The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms. They want to take away your right to vote effectively. Text people now, and then make sure they actually do vote. If they don't, this will be the last election. That's my prediction.
10 things you didn't know will kill you.
Caffeine. Just 1 teaspoon of pure caffeine will give you a fatal heart attack. Plucking nose hair. This will cause an infection that will move to your bloodstream directly to your brain, and that's game over. Dryer lint. Accumulated dryer lint, over time, can lead to fire. Hot tubs and baths. Between 1999 and 2003, 1,676 Americans have drowned in hot tubs and baths. Windex and bleach. Never mix Windex and bleach while cleaning. This will release chloramine gas. Very fatal and deadly. Never get creative with household cleaners. Being too tall. You will not live to be 26. Drinking too much water. This will dilute the electrolytes in your blood. This is called water intoxication.
The head of India's space program was asked in an interview earlier this week, do you think the planet is being visited by extraterrestrials? This was his answer.
But do you think our planet is visited by extraterrestrials?
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
So Dr. S. Samanth is the chairman of the Indian Space Research Organization, India's equivalent of NASA. He's been at the organization since 1985 and became the chairman in 2022. As a fun fact, exactly a year ago to the day, August 23rd, 2023, Israel landed their lunar rover at the South Pole of the moon.
But do you think our planet is visited by extraterrestrials?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. In my conscience says, I don't have a proof.
You're the chairperson of ISRO, sir.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it comes from out of my earlier statement that there are aliens out in the universe. Aliens means living systems are there, cultures are there in other part of this universe. Then they would have definitely visited us if they are ahead in technology than us. Say 1,000 years, 10,000 years ahead. 10,000 years again is also minuscule time scale in the evolution of the universe. Just imagine a society which is 10,000 years ahead in technology compared to us. Where will they be? They will be frequently coming and going out of Earth without ever we knowing it.
It's the equivalent of us keeping lions in a zoo.
Yeah.
Right? We are the lions in the zoo for them.
Precisely,
like
yes.
Our planet is the zoo.
Precisely, yes.
Do you think that they would be benevolent or malevolent?
In either way, I will be happy never to be in touch with them. I will tell you why. Yes, there is a reason. See, the biology is such that we are evolved out of a common biology that connects every living creature on the surface of Earth. Whether it is plant, whether it is bacteria, whether it is fish or animal, and we are one and the same.
Now this is wild. I almost know for a fact that the majority of you had no clue that India had a spaceship that landed on the moon. That's news to me, but that's interesting.
There's got to be $100 million hit on this. There's a contest in the penitentiary right now. But he a dead man. That's for damn sure. Freak often got told your world up. But you know what happened? You should have never sued the liquor company. That's where you f***ed up. They don't give a f*** about you tearing up booty holes. You f***ed up when you sued the liquor company, because the liquor company is owned by the biggest conglomerate on earth, the BlackRock people. You done bit off the hand that was feeding you, and now you done chop both your feet and your hand off, and your head's coming next. Your ego got out of whack because you was controlling everything at them freak parties. Now you think you control the hand that's feeding you. You stupid mother. He sued the liquor company May 2023. November 2023. Cassie come up with the lawsuit. Connect the dots. Cassie got 2 checks. She got a check from the liquor company people that put her up to doing that shit, and she got a check from Puffy to try to keep her quiet. Too late.
Do any of you remember the set of cards that predicted world events? This kind of became viral in 2020. But these set of cards were made in 1990 and they predicted major world events. I don't know if you can read that, but what does that say and what happened in 2020? And this also happened? And this? I mean, come on. There are 2 ways that we can go about looking at this. One is they're orchestrated. Everything was orchestrated. We are just watching a play. The world is a stage. Or time travel is real and we are altering things. So this was a discovery in the science realm. Evidence of negative time found in quantum physics experiment. I'm going to save you reading this article. Basically, it means, could time travel be possible? I don't know if you guys were following the 2020 exposure movement where all of the truths of what society is was leaking out, and I can't say too much because this video is going to get taken down. But the exposing of people in charge, the things that they do to the young people, like below the age of 10, people suddenly becoming missing, the consumption of the red liquid that comes out of us, particularly through the young people, all done by those in control, in power. And there was talks about a time machine that supposedly exists, and it is a technology that they have discovered a long time ago. And through this looking glass, they can see the outcomes of the world and they can dictate the outcomes of the world. So was it really an orchestrated event, or were they seeing the future? Now, the reason why I have Alice in the background is because a lot of spiritual people believe that this is, symbolism, occult symbolism. It's Freemasonic because of the checkerboard, and she wears an apron, and Freemasons wear an apron. And there is this one modern sequel of Alice in Wonderland. It's called Alice Through the Looking Glass, in which Alice has to time travel and reset a clock. Now I have to ask, how many of you have been experiencing deja vu constantly? I know I have. Reality feels like a dream. And so many of my clients who come to learn spirituality from me will say, why do I feel like life is a dream? Why do I keep getting deja vu? Maybe it's because of this. I'm just saying. Truth is stranger than fiction at times. And what we think is impossible, we're just limiting our own minds. How do we know what's exactly possible? Are we God? Are we the creator? We can't be that arrogant, right? Now, a lot of the conspiracies that have been coming out recently, especially in these past 4 years, have becoming eerily true. Especially with the whole P. Diddy situation and the things that they do. We now have to open up our minds to the possibility that this is actually real. These were all predictions. So that bodes the question, well, who's doing it? And why do they have so much power? What is this technology? Like I said, truth is stranger than fiction, and you probably don't want to hear me when I say this. But as a former atheist who has now fully accepted this truth, these are what you call the fallen angelics. The entities that are operating all these events that have all of these technologies, they are fallen angelics. They were higher dimensional beings, you can call them gods, that were kicked out of those higher dimensions because they were rebelling and they were becoming extremely selfish. Most of the 7 sins you can blame on them. Humanity was actually created to save these fallen angelics because we have something called ascension codes that run through our DNA given to us by the higher dimensional gods, if you will. And instead of treating humanity with respect, now this is why in the Bible it says Satan or Lucifer is jealous of humanity. They're jealous of the ascension codes. They want to go back home, but only on their terms. And this is why Earth is their playground. Earth is their kingdom. They don't want to leave this place because this is the only place they can have fun. And we are dragged into this unwillingly by them. Now, this is all I can say about the origins of humanity. If I say more, my account's gonna get taken down.
Guys, you definitely need to watch this. Let me know in the comments, what do you think?
But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turned around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Who are the Anunnaki?
Oh, yeah, because, well, if you go back to the Bible and I believe that both the Old and New Testament is an encoded story. That's a whole different subject, but I believe that the Old and New Testament, especially the New Testament, is an encoded metaphor. It's encoded, telling you something real important, but you walk right past it. That's why the Bible has Jesus saying, you look with your eyes, but do not see. You listen with your ears, but you don't hear. And with the heart, you don't get the sense of it. In other words, go back and read it. It doesn't say what you think it says. And so when God, which is actually Elohim in the plural, and God said, come, let us make man in our image after our likeness. It's in Genesis. Rabbi Marvin Entelman, many years ago, I used to sit and talk with him, and other rabbis, teachers I've sat and talked with for hours. They brought out to me, this was back in the mid-60s, that I was told, nowhere in the Bible does it say that God created man. Nowhere. It does not say in the Bible anywhere that God created man. What it says in Genesis is that God created Adam, not man. And so it's, the scripture actually says, that God said, come let us. Who's us? come let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And so Christians say, well, see, there's God creating man. And Rabbi Antelman said, no, that's not what it said. Go back and read it. It says, come, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Not make man, man's already here, but come, let us make him in our image, after our likeness. And then later on it says that God says, God said, here man has become as one of us. He knows too much. He's getting too smart. He's become as one of us. What do you mean, us?
Take me to 2035.
I think it's hard to say where all this can go without sounding like a crazy person.
Go ahead,
I really believe the technology is going to be that powerful. I hope that in 10 years, all of us, we are limited by what we can imagine.
Do you think it's moving too fast?
My current belief is no, but I could imagine things that would change that quickly, and I would say, okay, this is moving too fast.
Like what? What would change that?
If we made an AI system that was better at doing AI research than all of OpenAI, and you could push a button and just say, improve really fast. That's an example of something I think would be moving too fast.
When I sit with you, you're so calm, you're so relatable, it seems like everything's okay. Is that how you really feel?
I don't want to give a false sense of security here.
The bottom line for, I think, most people is whether or not you can trust the people who are in charge. And I know you went through a phase where your own board said, we don't trust you. And then you got yourself another board. How do we know we can trust you?
So the bar on this is clearly extremely high. It is clear that this is going to be a very impactful technology, and I think a lot of scrutiny is thus super warranted.
I actually saw a headline that said you were the most powerful and perhaps most dangerous man on the planet. And I'm wondering how that sits with you.
It's definitely strange to hear you say that.
First of all, I had no clue that Oprah Winfrey was still doing interviews. You know, I thought she was on that list. But besides all that, if you were paying attention to him, you can tell there's something else going on. You know, either that he didn't want to say or that he couldn't say. But the reality of it is he understands that AI could get real nasty real fast. And the opposite is true. So it's going to be very interesting in the next couple of years how it all pans out and how things work out. Because he didn't say it was all good, but he didn't say it was all bad. So, you know, you have one of them robots in your house, make sure you got locks on your doors.
You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. You hold on to the past, hoping for answers that never come. But the truth is, you can't move forward if you keep looking back. Let go. The pain, the what-ifs, the doubts, they're not part of the story you're meant to write next. The future is calling. The next chapter of your life is unwritten, and it's waiting for you. You hold the pen, so turn the page.
I truly believe that once the world starts embracing numerology and astrology for what it is, the prime creator's language, what I call the prime creators, what you call gods, but again, I don't pray to anything. When you pray, you become prey. I keep telling people that if there is a prime creator, which I strongly believe there is, he didn't put us on this planet to pray, okay? Be a good person, help the people out. Everyone knows what the difference between right and wrong is, and if the prime creator, which you call God, really did have a child, it wasn't Jesus, it was karma, because you do anything bad, that's gonna fuck you up. That's how it works. Karma is king, not Jesus.
Absolutely.
Numerology is king, not all this other religious nonsense. Honestly, absurd that we live in the year 2024 and people are still trying to get you to read a book that's 2,500 years old and it says it has all the answers within it. You gotta be out your fucking mind. I always tell people I can read people like a book. You've seen it all the time. Can a priest do that? Can a imam do that? Can a rabbi do that? No, they can't, because the real knowledge is within numbers and astrology itself. And by the way, I don't worship anything. It's a tool to use to get closer to the prime creator. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be.
They mixed in with the human DNA the Goetian demons,
The which demons?
The 72 Goetian demons, if you want to.
Could you explain what they are?
Yeah. They would be the princes and dukes of hell. What we would call hell. Hell, the actual word hell would be H is a gate. The letter H is the letter H is a gate. And ELL was Elohim, and that would be the fallen angels. So the gates of the fallen. Okay, so that's where they hang out, and they are very, very powerful, but they want to come up here and feel what we feel, because they can't feel what we feel. They can't feel what it feels like when you put some milk and sugar into your cup of tea and sip it. They can't feel that feeling. And they can't feel the feeling when you lust after that girl that you looked down the street at. They can't feel that.
Negative blood type is a very rare blood type. Less than 15% of the planet have that blood type. As a matter of fact, I'm Rh negative, and so my wife knows I have to go down to the local blood bank to donate blood to myself, and you got to do it every so many months because blood doesn't last forever. In case there's an accident, they tell you, look, you should donate blood every few months. In case something happens, they can give you back your own blood. You can infuse yourself with your own blood. Scientists call it, they call it alien blood because it's so rare.
If you test positive for the rhesus factor, it means that you are one of those bloodlines that was part of that genetic downgrade. If you test negative, if you're Rh negative, it means that you're part of a very small percentage of the world's population that has an older bloodline. Now, those percentages might shock people, especially when they start thinking, wow, why is everybody all asleep all around me and not understanding any of this stuff? And I seem like some kind of a crazy person. According to the most recent data, somewhere around 85% of the world's population is Rh positive, whereas 15% or less is Rh negative. During the time of Atlantis, they had a percentage of their population that left before it was destroyed, and they went to places like the Basque region of Spain and Morocco and some other parts like in France. Today, that's where you find the highest percentages of Rh negative. We have two different genetic bloodline groups running around the planet, and one of them greatly outnumbers the other. And a lot of those people that find themselves researching this stuff and trying to go down this rabbit hole, the reason they get looked at so crazy is they become so far ahead of understanding the real information that makes up our reality that the other individuals become so ignorant of that information that it just automatically gets rejected as being crazy.
If the government is not going to release it, we're going to release this to the public so they'll know that this is going on.
Previous week, the UFO came on the range, flew right by what we called the schoolhouse, because that's where we did the training, and it went down into the valley and continued on. So they have actual video of it, and that's what you see out there in the public, this Nellis Range UFO.
P1 control doesn't know what type of aircraft it is either.
That's his truth.
Yeah.
We have the names of the other on-duty military personnel.
Yes.
We have a location and we have a date.
Yes.
Yeah. I opted to report on it, even though I can't prove that it happened.
Yeah.
But I think it's a pretty compelling account.
What's the location?
It was, Nellis Testing Range in Nevada. 1994. It was August.
We watching out here, okay? We've been watching out here. We've been watching for a long time now. Man, nothing. Well, you don't take credit for nothing. They don't want to take credit for nothing. You don't look at Beyonce. Oh, Beyonce, you mean RuPaul? RuPaul can sing, dance, act. RuPaul been trying to have her whole show for a long time. She's been trying to have her own show for a long time. Finally got that show. Everybody coming out screaming for RuPaul. And you just want to act like it's Beyonce. No, it's people that's been working really hard that need to hear this that I'm saying, this stuff that I'm saying. Y'all just want to keep banning me and cutting my live off and doing things. I'm trying to set people free. I'm not trying to keep people in bondage. Let Beyonce be Beyonce, but just know that that's RuPaul. You know, there's a little bit of truth. There's just a little bit of truth for you, baby. A little bit of truth for you, baby. She said if she was a boy. And nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to listen. That's the problem, see? Everybody want to get on there and start talking. You got Ray J up there trying. He's supposed to be Ray J. Ray J up there talking about. We got to see Ray J on the TV talking about Diddy. Man, come on, man. Why was Ray J on TMZ talking about Diddy? Everybody know they should have been talking to Orlando Brown. What's wrong with you, Ray J? Man. Ray J, you're Nicki Minaj. Be lying to people, man. Ray J been Nicki Minaj for a long time. I went over to Scott Storch's house. I was at Scott Storch's house. And when I was over at Scott Storch's house, me and Megan Good we was over there chilling. You know what I'm saying? My sister took me over there. This was when Lowell Grissom was still alive. And we was over there and we was listening, and then she was trying to get Scott Storch to hear my Orlando can do music. Listen to Orlando. Orlando's music. Megan was trying to say, hey, listen to Orlando's music. And he was like, no, not right now. Not right now. But while I'm out there by the piano, right, I'm out there and I'm listening to Ray J with his loud mouth. And he be like, you know, a lot of that. And he be like, yeah, man, you know, yeah, and yeah. And Nicki finna come out here too. And Nicki coming out here too. If you know Ray J, that's how he be talking. And Nicki coming out here too.
Orlando Brown with the comical relief. And he also spills a little bit of gems in there at the same time. You know, it's hard to dismiss him because there is something there, but we don't know what it is because he speaks cryptically. But it is funny as hell. I ain't gonna lie to you. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.